Well, good afternoon. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. It's nice and sunny. It's the beginning of June, and you know, the plants are just really starting to take off in the garden. Well, anyhow, today I wanted to share with you some tips and ideas on how you can grow cucumbers, and the variety is Muncher, sweet and burpless. And I'll be direct sowing these out in the garden today. So thanks for joining me today. So follow me along, and I'm going to show you where I'm going to be direct sowing these out in the garden. So I just finished building a garden trellis out of some fence T-posts, and I'm going to be planting these or direct sowing these seeds at the end of that 4-foot by 32-foot raised bed there on the right. So right here at the base of that trellis is where I'm going to be direct sowing these cucumber seeds. So in other areas of my garden, I did plant some bush cucumbers, transplants, and so, you know, they're well ahead. And I like to, you know, plant my, you know, you want to plant a lot of your vegetables in succession or interval planting, you know, like your carrots or your potatoes, cucumbers or your beans, you know, because you don't want them all coming in at one time. And so that's the one reason I'm going to be direct sowing these cucumber seeds. Now on the back of every pack, you know, they give you a little bit of helpful information. It says the Muncher is just that, a tasty snack right out of the garden or pickled, a mild burpless type cucumber you will enjoy as a favorite. Best picked when 4 to 6 inches in length and medium green in color. Cucumbers prefer well-drained soil. Water is needed to make sure that the plants get about 1 inch of water per week. And then the planting depth here is 1/2 inch. It says you thin to 36 inches, although I'll probably be keeping them closer than that. And then full sun, and then maturity is 65 days. And you certainly want to direct sow these after danger of frost. And so we're here beginning of June. You know, the soil's nice and warm, and so it's probably 70 degrees and somewhere near there. And so these cucumber seeds are really going to take off really nice. Now I'm going to be planting these in my composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. And so, you know, you want to work through the soil with your garden fork, making sure that it's nice and loose. And so, you know, my garden fork is 12 inches long, and I pretty much had just went through the soil here, loosening that up. And so, you know, you want to make sure that your soil or seed bed is nice and loose soil. Take your seed pack, and I'm just going to simply come out about 3 inches from the fence and just make a line here. Again, my soil is nice and loose, so it's easy to work with. And I'm going to make this trench about 1 inch deep and plant these in. And so I'm just going to simply take the pack and make it, you know, shape it into a V like this, and then just start lightly tapping it until they start coming out of the pack. And I'm going to drop these in about every 2 inches. So I always overseed. And so I'm going to just take these and space them out a little bit better in the soil, being these are nice large seed. So I would say these are about every 2 inches apart. You can always push them down in a little bit with your finger if you need to. But you want to make sure that the soil that you're growing these in is a nice fine soil. You don't want to backfill with any clumps or anything. You want the seeds to make good contact with the soil. You kind of like want a nice plush mattress, I say, for these seeds. And so I'm just going to push it back with my hand and then gently tap it down with my hand. I always like using my hands as a trowel in my soil. I tend to lose my little hand trowel, and so using my hands really works out great. And then get your watering can and just water them in real well. And you also want to make sure you keep these seeds well watered during the germination period. Bailey's enjoying the nice shade there under the tree. How you doing today, my boy? Huh? He's a good boy. He's my good garden helper. So when I built this trellis here out of these T-posts, I also put it on the end of my raised garden bed here so it won't block the sunlight from any other plant. And so this is basically on the north side here. And so this trellis here is 36 inches wide and 6 feet high, so the cucumbers ought to grow up real nice on this trellis here. So anyhow, my wife and I were really looking forward to having cucumbers in our garden. You know, we just love those nice juicy cucumbers in our salad, and you know, it's just fun to be able to come out in your garden and eat your vegetables right off the vine, you know, like your cherry tomatoes, and you know, or taking some kale leaves and eating them, and you know, I just love that sort of thing. And so anyhow, I hope this video gave you some tips and ideas on how you can grow your cucumbers in your vegetable garden. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the section below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you can receive future videos. Well, anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden. And I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.